Well, here's another review of my last week's digging. Um, I'm still in the 30s and 40s period, so all these are going to be machine-made bottles and trinkets. Well, let's start out with the stuff that I like and what I'm really focusing on is sodas and milks in this time period. Hey, if a mason jar comes by, that's fine, but some whiskeys come up that are interesting. Generally, though, I'm focusing on the sodas and milks because they're local most of the time, and that is what is rare in my respect, and special in my view, and especially when they're small towns. So we're looking at small towns. The town I live in is not one of them. Savannah is not a small town. It's getting bigger every day. But let's start out with a Savannah bottle, and it is our famous Starland Dairy. Now this one has a damage. Some of the pyros, the T is off on that one, and we got a pretty nasty scrape on the Starland star, and it has a real nice bottom, Starland, and you have Duraglass and Darrow. I don't know what that is under there. Maybe it's dairies. I don't see. Decor. Duraglass Decor. But it is Starland Dairy. And so that's a good one. That's one of my favorites. That's just like this one. This one is in a lot better shape. Everything's intact. And it has the same bottom with the dairy on it. So, yeah, this Starland is a very collectible bottle. Now, I've been finding their competitor, which was Harmon Dairies, and they put out a lot of different pyros. I dug a few this last week. One was videoed when it came out of the ground. It looked great. It was actually a picture of the factory, but unfortunately, that didn't hang on very well. That paint came right off, and it was a heartbreaker, but it happened. But this one did not. This is one of my very favorite the buttermilks from Harmon Dairies, and you can see here's a pretty lady there. It says radiant loveliness. The year round buttermilk. So she's our buttermilk queen. And of course, you got the Harmon Dairies, the Oakhurst Farms milk with that extra care, and that was on the other bottle that didn't make it. But there we have this bottle. It's nice. I really am happy it came out the way it did. There she is. Now, the rest of the stuff is just hit or miss. These are not too very special, although they are, as you can see, they're Christmas Cokes, and they were there till they put these out until 1938. So it's not surprising that this bottle didn't show up in that 40s dump. It's from Hampton, South Carolina, so it's a small town. The wartime Cokes, the bottles that were put out during 43, 44, 45, maybe up until 44 maybe, there was a copper shortage, so they took the copper out of the batch, and so a lot of these, this is a typical Coke bottle color, but a lot of them would have a more of a bluish tint. Maybe this one does. This is a Savannah. It's another, you can see that it is a 1923 Christmas Coke. And the date, it's really funny because this one doesn't have a date here. You see what I'm looking at here? Well, that right there in that section is where a date and a like this one does. But this is a different bottler who put this out. There's an L here. So there's it's L, so I think it's L. I know this bottler company. I know this glass maker. I just can't think off his name. But this is a 1935 bottle. I don't know if you can see that very well. Right about there. So it would make sense. This is 35, so this is right on the cusp, almost at the end of that production. The 40s bottles, though, will have a bluish tint. Here's another interesting Coke. It's interesting. It's a patent, post office patent, but it is not your traditional. This is a 10 ounce embossed. So I think I've never seen one. I look at these, there's 10 ounce painted labels, but I've never seen one of these. So they may not be as plentiful. And there's no name on the bottom, of course. And this bottle I saw before, and it looked like it's a 1955. And it says it on the bottom here. So this is how late this bottle is. You can see 1955. So it's 60-something plus years, so it's still pretty old. The other ones you saw me dig, a lot of these you did. This one I don't know if I documented, and the reason I'm picking it up is because, well, it is another old bottle, but it is an Anchor Hocking, and it looks like a 1950. And it's poison. And it's a toilet bowl cleaner is what it is. But I thought the pyro was on it pretty well, and people sometimes like this stuff. I don't know, to reach their own, but some people do like that kind of stuff. This bottle you saw me, this is a cool one. It has the same shape as a lot of English poisons from this time period. This is Merrill's rubbing alcohol, rub with the best. So this is the best you couldn't got back then. And there's no glass maker here, so I don't know. Your typical bottle, but not so typical. The shape's pretty cool. Everything else here, let me look. I gotta shorten this up because trying to download all this, it takes forever. Remember I found a black draft? Well, here's another version of black draft, and this is somebody by the name of Thelford's black draft. It's not, I don't think it's associated with Chattanooga Medicine Company, which is the other bottles were from there. And C in a circle, I think. Don't have my glasses. I'm using the phone. No, yeah, it's a C in a circle. That's a glass maker. Everything else, he was fun to find. The baby Quaker. What does it say? Something about a tenth of a pint. A tenth of a pint. Oh, that's interesting. Must have been for small people. And this is a Hoyt's. And Hoyt's, I love this company. They went on forever. They're like Lydia Pinkham. Remember, I think in one of my videos I mentioned how Lydia Pinkham, no matter where you're digging, you end up finding Lydia Pinkhams from one. They show up. They're worse than Watkins. but Hoyt will show up too. But I just like them. Their embossing has always been appealing to me. It's a perfume. It's old, good old Lowell, Mass. So I couldn't read that. And everything else is just little go withs. This is cool. It is a pottery. It's a little creamer that would be in a restaurant. A little Horlocks pills, lunch tablets. They're popular in the 40s, I guess. People were. This was a glue bottle. This has glue on it, and they actually has the name of the company, although I cannot, for the life of me, read the name there. But I do see the word band glue. It's a name. Hex. McCormick's. It's McCormick's glue. Well, they were into everything back then, McCormick's. The bottle that is really cool. What it was used for, I don't know, but it's a real nice design. Probably floor polish. This green, there was a pyro on it. It's all gone now. I can't hardly read it. It was a ginger beer bottle, and there's a lion on it, and there's all kinds of cool things. But the pyro just disappeared. It's a ghost image now, and it would take forever. Barnes or something. I don't know what company that was. Little perfume. I'm giving that way to my sister or somebody. There's perfume in it, and take my word for it, it smells not too bad either. And Magnolia, the top broke on that one. And a real relic from the past, a cigarette lighter. I mean, a cigarette ashtray. I mean, lighters are still around. Ashtrays, not so much. You really know what time period you're in when you start digging these up. And this is a cool one. It's pressed glass. It's nothing spectacular. But I'm sure it sat next to somebody's recliner back in the day. So there you have it, a little wrap up, and we'll keep on going. I got a couple of more days of good weather before things happen here, and so I will go out and see what else I can show you guys. So have a good one, and we'll see you again.